Hey, folks, welcome to Affiliate Nerd Out, Real Talk Friday edition. Joined as always by my buddy Christen Evans. How we doing?
Good. Glad it's Friday.
Sure enough, we are sneaking up on Affiliate Summit, just 1 week away here.
I know. Wild. I'm super excited because it's my favorite place to go see my friends and hang out with everybody. And I super love it the last couple of years because we've all been in the same hotel, which is really nice. We'd leave the conference zone and go back to our little bar area or whatever. It's a lot of prep getting ready for Summit. How
Mhm.
about
Agreed. I am beating up that app. I'm almost filled up with all my meetings, which is great. I'm a week ahead of schedule, which is awesome. And I got brands, got affiliates, got influencers, good wild mix in there, and can visit some sessions too. Any sessions you're absolutely gonna go to? Off the top of your head?
No, it's honestly been a number of years since I've gone to sessions live because being able to get the recordings is really nice, but it's I find that my time is so much better served spent networking and setting
Sure.
up those meetings. And then obviously like education and continual involvement in the industry is a really big thing. But after years of doing it, I've realized that being able to catch up on the re-records afterward or the recordings afterward and then spending the time actually getting the face to face is super important. I will say though that the one session that is very high on my radar is the PMA one. Trisha and Jade and Kelly are all Jade is the new president and Kelly, I believe, is treasurer. They are going to have a fantastic session. And I never miss a PMA session, just not only as a supporter and a member of the board of directors, but as an advocate of the industry.
Yeah, good call out there. In that same vein, I never miss a Brooke Schaaf session. Like,
Mhm.
he's just too smart to miss. I go to everything Brooke does. But there's another couple out there. They're a really good heavy hitters with some big content folks. A Wirecutter comes to mind, Filamate, CNN, see Life Without Google, traffic sources for sustainable growth. I like that concept. I'm really interested on what publishers are doing now that life sucks for them on SEO wise. Like, uh,
So many of them have still especially I think the big guys will always have a little bit of a sturdier footing, but some historical, like, blog partners that I've worked with for years and years really got hammered by those updates, and it's been a really tough clawback for a lot of them, so that one actually could be a really good one to attend and just to see how we can help them and advocate for them in that space too.
yeah. And who are you meeting with? Is this same thing? You're trying to lock in clients, trying to hang.
Not so much client focused this time. I'm really looking at publishers this time around. It's funny because I always aim for publishers and then I always end up meeting with one or two people that are good prospective clients, which I love. That's a really good mix. I'm going to get my rounds with my network reps just to make sure that we're aligned and on the same page, especially with the move from share sale to AWIN. That was a huge impact on a lot of my clients for the industry. So I'm looking forward to getting time with my AWIN reps. And then I'm launching a number of clients on Impact right now. So I'm going to get some time with Impact reps. And then, yeah, I have a bunch of publishers. I was really happy to see that there's a number of influencers and bloggers this year where I haven't necessarily seen that in the last couple of years. But I also got some good larger publishers nailed down, a couple who are starting to do whitelisting, which a couple of my clients are really interested in. So can't wait to have those conversations, and then I'm gonna have some, product samples for people too. Mostly just trying to meet with some familiar faces, some new faces, and then see what new opportunities are out there as well.
Us. Any parties must go to? I like Impact. Top Golf is always on the top of my list to
Yes, come on.
or
Yeah, so Impact Golf, obviously love hanging out with you guys there. I also the Upsell It happy hour, I love to go to that. I love the Upsell It team so much. Anytime I can get a drink with Jeremy or Adam Kotler, I'm super happy. I don't know if you remember this last year, but when I lost my phone on the first night of Summit, Adam and Josh Modal were the ones who went with me to Verizon to replace it because it was on the sketchy part of town, and then we went to a sushi dinner, and that was fantastic. So anytime I get to spend with the Upsella team, I super love it. Plus, I always love to remind John Goodwin what my name is because he's one of those guys who, like, the first number of times we met, he's like, "Who are you? Do I know you?" I love to razz him a little bit. I'm considering Presh Connect. That's always a good time. It's always a big time. So that one always comes down to the wire for me is do I have the juice for this?
Yeah. I was just exchanging an email with Paresh. I'm like, all right, I'll take my Red Bull and we'll,
Yeah.
yeah, rally and make it out there.
You know what? Here, how about this? If you go, I'll go.
All right. Fair enough.
I think that's fair. And then one of my favorites is, and I know you're going to be leaving on Wednesday, but one of my favorite things to do is that Wednesday evening decompress session where a few of us usually go to dinner. And then last year we went to Oak and Ivy over in the Fremont section and a really good bourbon bar that is in like a shipping container mall type situation, which was awesome. So I always look forward to that just because it's like a debrief after the chaos of the few days and super fun. We ran into a bunch of AWIN people there last year and just had a really good time with some excellent old fashioned. Super looking forward to that. Wade and I have been talking about a couple speakeasy options that we might try to find this year. That's always something that we like to do. I'd like to leave a lot of room for spontaneity and whatever may happen because I find some of the best events and some of the best conversations happen in those moments.
Oh, I love that concept. Yes. Speakeasy. I feel like I have one for you. I can't remember which one it was in, but there was like, it looked like a pawn shop where there's guitars and shit on the walls, and you just walk in and really cool aspect. I'll figure it out. And
Give it to me. You got a week. Dig it up.
I will. Um, and Wade, you mentioned I'll have to have that drink with him as well. I don't know when we'll get to that, but
I think Wade and Joe both get in on Sunday. And so I know Joe's going to be there by the time we land on Sunday. So I would imagine, and they're staying at the link. So I'd imagine we can run into them relatively easily. I'm excited to see Joe. Feel like I haven't seen him in a couple of years. Always one of my favorite people because he's a great affiliate, but also a great affiliate manager. And that's always a really fun conversation to have. He has completecarnivore.com, which always fits into my food and bev love. So it's always a fun conversation with him around Summit and kind of figuring out what we're doing. And I love learning the new things that Fanatics is testing. They've always been one of those like litmus tests that I love to speak to. Oh, hey, are you guys working with so-and-so? Are you working with so-and-so? And just seeing how things are working out. Obviously, as a huge brand, they're going to have results may vary. But whenever they test out something new, it's great to get the learnings from them. Which kind of goes back to that gatekeeping conversation that we were having the other day about being able to share kind of contacts and results and stuff like that. One of my favorite things about Summit is that Nick Marchese and myself will double team on a lot of meetings just so that we can be the most efficient possible. Or like he might have booked somebody that I wasn't able to get a hold of in time before the schedule filled up and vice versa. I think that's a really underutilized opportunity for a lot of people. I think a lot of people like to keep their meetings and their contacts very close to the chest, but in kind of the sense of rising tides and everybody being helpful instead of hurtful, I love that we're able to be like, hey, like we can all talk about our clients together, and not step on each other's toes because there's a big enough pie to go around.
awesome. Include me in that mix as well.
You right, Judith.
What's up? Happy to join in. And to those lines of like, one of those things that I'm really looking for and I still haven't found is an influencer trainer that'll teach people to get into the affiliate space. I'm really hoping to meet somebody at Affiliate Summit that is into this. You run across something like that. I've been beating up the app trying to figure out who does this kind of thing.
Mhm.
And eventually I might even go do it myself because I think it's a service that is just completely underserviced right now in the industry of weighing folks that are in that micro influencer space into affiliate marketing
Yeah.
before they get this, they drink the Kool-Aid of you must have sponsorships to work with brands. Like somebody's got to be out there. I just don't know where.
I was having a conversation with a brand that I'm working with the other day about this, where I was like, influencer is a really good pipeline to affiliate, but it does come with a bit of education and it comes with a bit of hand holding. There is a little bit of a barrier to entry because of the evergreen aspect of those relationships or of affiliate relationships versus influencer relationships, which you might have, say, a 3, 6, 9 year long contract. But then once that's done, where does it go from there? Whereas affiliate, like I have been working with affiliates for a decade who are still seeing revenue from a post that they wrote 8 years ago. And that's the kind of relationship that I think at brands love. I think that affiliate managers certainly love them. And I think affiliates like it too, because once you really find that brand that is able to work with you in that way and you have that continual performance, obviously that's a win. It's a win. And I do think I agree with you. Influencer always leans into affiliate at the end of the day, but how to properly educate on those best practices is something that's really it's a huge opportunity in the industry right now.
Mhm. Yeah, I stumbled across, a couple of big players in that space like Linktree and Beacon that have representatives there. I'm scheduling meetings with them to see who their players are that are teaching this kind of thing. Maybe I can get a good connection there,
Yeah.
but
One of the other spaces I've been seeing and reading a lot about is Substack, really getting into those newsletters and dedicated kind of areas, which also makes me think about Patreon a lot. And I don't know how much Patreon partners are leaning into affiliate, but I feel like that's a huge opportunity where you already have the built in community, you have the built in subscribers who are dedicated to reading your content and your newsletters. But, like, how can we tap into that more, especially because so many Patreon and Substack creators are behind those walls, and it's a little bit harder to find them unless you're, like, really actively searching through the communities. I think that that's just a huge opportunity. You're taking notes, aren't you?
that it brings up Stash is always looking after search engines that are next and how we can scrape and find good contacts at those search engines essentially. And Patreon's got to be that next thing. And we're working on something on finding Discord
Mhm.
channels,
Yeah.
uh, that gaming space and products that would work in that gaming space. That Patreon I've never even thought of. So yeah, I'm taking a note real quick and
Yeah. A lot of the TikTokers that I follow and really enjoy are do Patreon, and I think that's just definitely an untapped area. I'd love to talk to somebody about that. So if you're out there and you're listening, let's chat. But yeah, I mean, the Taylor Swift Styled, which is obviously an account that I follow across the board, she has a Patreon account, and I know she uses affiliate links. So I'm wondering how she uses them in conjunction. So I just think that's a really cool opportunity for us to be able to potentially tap into.
beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. We're at time today. Thanks for joining me again, Kristen, and see you next Friday before we take off on Sunday here.
Sounds perfect. Can't wait.
All right. Keep on recruiting, folks. We'll see you out
Good weekend, everybody.
there.